Okay, my name is Melissa Glarz. I'm the chair of the LD12. I am calling this meeting to order. Today is April 14th. I want to thank everybody for joining us for today's meeting, either in person or virtually. Be advised that our meetings are being recorded for documentation and reference purposes. By continuing to be a part of this meeting, you consent to being recorded. If you have any concerns or objections, please let the board members know before we start the meeting. For those of you on Zoom, this is for viewing only, but we are working on getting you guys to be able to speak. And tonight we are going to be interacting with those on Zoom tonight when we do an activity later today. Thank you everyone for joining. Again, my name is Melissa. I'm the chair of LD12. Today joining me in the room are some of my board members. We have Marion White, she's second vice chair. She's up here. Sherry Johnson, who is the first vice chair. AJ, stand up. Who is an at-large. Nicole, right over there, at-large board member. And Mark, who is our treasurer back there. On Zoom is Susie Thornton, our secretary. She's running the Zoom. So thank you all. Tonight is did I forget anybody? Oh, no. Tonight we have a jam-packed agenda like we always do. The agenda is on your table along with all the QR codes. So don't worry if you don't get a little snapshot of up here because it's really tiny print, and even standing up here, I can't read it. So I don't expect anybody else. I have printed this for you. Please take them home with you.
Okay, and before I read the land acknowledgement, everybody take in our new donkey. We'll be naming it tonight. And now we're going to turn it off because it's really loud. Man down. Okay. Wah, wah, right? Arizona LD12 Democrats acknowledge the land we gather on today is the ancestral homeland of indigenous nations that have inhabited these lands since time immemorial. We take this opportunity to thank the Hohokam, including the Akimal, O'odham, and the Peepash Maricopa peoples of the past, present, and future for their traditional care of this land and their resilience. Attached to this physical space is a painful history of forced removal resulting in intentional genocide of its indigenous people. This history is important to all of us. As a reminder not to cause further harm, we remain appreciative of our ability to teach, learn, and serve in a space of such importance and reverence. We do have our April Bada Bing raffle, so the QR codes are on your agendas. We have Celebrate Cinco de Mayo and Bring on the Beer and Hot Stuff. And thank you to Bill and Judy Wade, as always, for providing our baskets. Next, we'd like to welcome any first-time attendees. So if this is your first time attending an LD12 meeting, raise your hand and we'll introduce you. Holy smokes. Okay, keep your hands up. Okay. Okay.
All right. Oh, wait. Can you hear? Okay.
Mike Braun, Phoenix.
Mike
Thanks,
from
Mike.
Phoenix.
I'm Shauna. I'm from Phoenix.
Okay.
Shauna from Phoenix, welcome.
Marla from Phoenix.
Okay. Janie should have. Is Janie here? Dr. Janie. Do you have more welcome packets? Okay.
Carol and Bruce Arnold, Phoenix.
From Phoenix.
Welcome.
Awatuki.
Carol and Bruce from Phoenix.
Ingrid from Phoenix.
Perfect. Okay. Let me.
Hi, Noon Tongai from Awatuki, Phoenix.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say your name again. New Tonga from Phoenix. Did I say that right? Go. I did.
Jean from Phoenix.
Jean from Phoenix.
Kathy from Phoenix.
Kathy from Phoenix.
Joanne from Phoenix.
Yes.
Donna from Phoenix.
Donna from Phoenix. Hey, coming around. I'm getting my steps in. You missed my donkey, Deborah. Look at walking in late. I'm calling her out.
Linda Foster, but Queen Creek.
Oh, that's okay.
Linda from Queen Creek.
From Queen Creek, I think this is your chair. Here, LD13. Did I miss anybody? Oh, okay, I'm coming. Let me come around here. Oh, let me just go in a circle.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Tempe.
What? Wait, where else? Did I really get everybody?
I know some of you didn't get your packages.
Wait, just remember that when you don't talk into the microphone, the people on Zoom can't hear you. Okay?
So I know you didn't get your packages, some of you. This is actually in purpose, so we'll see you next month. Then you'll get your packages. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody that's new. Thank you for coming. Next, we'd like to welcome any elected officials that are in attendance. If you're an elected official, please stand. All right. We have Constable Karyn Lathan, Justice of the Peace Tyler Kissel. We have Amanda Steele, School Board Member for Tempe Union Governing Board. Kevin Walsh for Kyrene Governing Board. And Amy Satry from Kyrene Governing Board. Oh, and Bridget Bellavigna, Constable. We do this every time. I'm sorry, Bridget. And last but not least, if we have any candidates in the house, go ahead and stand up and we'll recognize you as well. Also, Karen Lathan for University Lakes, Bridget Bellavigna for Kyrene Justice Precinct, Tyler Kissel, Justice of the Peace, University Lakes. And then I think that's it. All right. Next up, April is Volunteer Appreciation Month. And we put together a quick little slideshow to say thank you to everybody who spent so much of their time and energy and effort helping us during the last election cycle, whether it was collecting signatures for candidates or ballot initiatives, canvassing every week. All of the things that you guys do are immensely appreciated, and we couldn't do it without you guys. All right, we'll send it out in the email. It says it's going, but it's not showing. Okay, my apologies. We'll send it out in the recap. Oh, maybe? Okay. Next up, I would like to welcome Kendra Alvarez. She is the person that is coordinating Dems Give Back for LD12 now. So let's welcome her. And she's going to talk to us about the drive that we're doing for April and May.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, Kendra Alvarez. I'm in Tempe in the Tulane precinct, so good to see some of you. This month and next month for our Dems Give Back, we are going to be collecting items for the Chandler Care Center. It is a center that primarily serves families of the Chandler School District. And just to give you a couple, thank you, first of all, to those who already brought some things. I will be holding those through next month. So if you haven't gotten a chance to yet, some of the items that they need most are unopened boxes of diapers and wipes for the diaper bank they run. And then canned veggies, fruit and soup, peanut butter, rice, pasta, cereal, boxed dessert mixes, and pinto beans, either canned or in the bag. So if you haven't gotten a chance to yet, please bring those next month. And then I'll give some Slack updates and things, but anyone that wants to help drop them off, I'd love to coordinate and we could get a little crew together to drop them off next month. And while I'm at it, if you have suggestions or ideas of groups that we should be connecting with throughout the year, I am new to this and I'm looking for different ideas. So feel free to stop me if you've got some suggestions. Thank you.
It's me again. Okay, we have a quick PC update. We are currently at 250 PCs for LD12. A PC is a precinct committee person. It is an elected official that represents their community, their precinct, which is your neighborhood. If you're interested in becoming a PC, you can see me and we can let you know if we have openings in your precinct. Your job is basically to be a representative of the Democratic Party, help elect Democrats, and help register voters. Other than that, we leave it up to what you have time and passion for. I'm getting there. On my notes. We did lose 14 PCs since November for various reasons, mostly because they moved or because of party change. And that's super frustrating because we want to try to maintain people that are representatives of the Democratic Party. And from the ones that I've reached out to, a handful have said that it's because they're scared to be labeled a Democrat. And, you know, they don't want to be targeted for some reason. We have recently appointed 5 new PCs, and those are Shahryar Anwar. If you're here, please stand up. He's in Alamo. Cedric Collins for Galveston. He's not here, but we know Cedric. Gabe Hagan for Hollis Precinct. Catherine Rawls for Jasper Precinct. And Yazdan Tajwar, he is in Galveston Precinct. Also, he's not here, so I will probably introduce him when he comes in. He had class. And for everybody that is a PC, we do have a PC meeting next Monday night. It's going to be on Zoom. We're going to talk about roles, responsibilities, and code of conduct. So please, on the agenda, there's a QR code to register for that meeting. It's at 6:30. It's strictly on Zoom, and I promise I won't keep you more than an hour. If you're not a PC, you can still come if you want to learn about it and decide if you want to become a PC. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to be a PC to attend, but PCs should attend.
Okay, so bada bing, April bada bing raffle is going on right now. You can go see Mark if you want to buy tickets. There are 2 baskets, one celebrating Cinco de Mayo, which is coming up, and also bring on the beer and hot stuff basket. So there's some really cool stuff. You can use the QR code and sign in, and then Mark will be doing a drawing at the end of the meeting. Our candidate spotlight tonight is going to be our constable, so Kyrene Lathan, and also Bridget Bellavigna. Did I say it right, Bridget? Got it right? Okay. So if you want to come up, one of you, whoever wants to go first and kind of introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Bridget Bellavigna. I have been the constable for the Kyrene Justice Precinct for the last 3 years. I was appointed in March of 22, got elected in the November, and I've been doing it for 3 years. Does anybody in here not know what a constable does? Yeah, not many people do, but that's okay. A constable, we are officer of the court. Okay, so basically what we do most of anything these days is evictions. And there are a lot to do. We can do anywhere from 10 to 15 a day. And we are also serve subpoenas, we serve summons, we do orders of protection. And trust me, we are never bored. There's always something going on. So the hardest part we've got going on right now is a tremendous number of evictions. And unfortunately, a lot of the monies have dried out. We try and give people resources as much as we possibly can to try and get them help, to try and get them at least some kind of shelter. And it's just hard. There's just not the resources. And as things are going in our government, we're going to get less and less resources. So plan on seeing a lot more unhoused people, unfortunately. Good. Come on in.
So this one's on?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Karen Lathan. I'm constable at University Lakes. That's the east part of Tempe in general. Where am I not standing? Stay back this way. Okay. What? I, I'm just electrifying. Okay. Bridget is on the west side of Tempe and Ahwatukee. Now, yes, we are with the justice courts, and that is up to $10,000. So we're not going out there and evicting homeowners. That's not us. We basically, it's the renters, anything $10,000 and less. Now, what I'd really like to get across, I had all these different points that I wanted to make, but what I really want to get across, if you don't remember anything else, remember to tell yourself, your kids, anybody you know to turn in your keys. If you can't pay your rent, leave and turn in your keys, and that'll stop the eviction. You'll still owe the money, but you won't have the eviction. What does an eviction do? It stays on your credit report for about 7 years, and it stops you from going in and getting another house or apartment at a multifamily, crime-free multifamily housing. So basically any apartment. So you don't want to get an eviction because then you can't get an apartment and you're going to be ending up, excuse me, with more of houses or slumlords. So whatever you do, whoever you speak to, please turn in your keys. That's going to stop the eviction. Okay. Outside of that, I also want to bring in the fact that when we go in and see evictions, there's so much more going on than them just not paying their rent. Most of the time, the place is a disaster. That's a lot of self-esteem issues. When we go in there and we see the situation, it'll break your heart. So there's a lot of things going on. One paycheck, one medical expense, one car breakdown, and you could be right there losing the roof over your house or over your head. The other thing is you would have 14 days, one day in 14 days to go back, get the rest of your stuff. So many of them don't have a car or don't have that ability, so they lose the roof over their head as well as all the worldly belongings. Sorry, I'm having a hard time speaking. So it's really important to get the word out. We are pretty much on the bottom of your ballot. But when it comes to touching your everyday life, we're up on top because we're the cushion between housed and unhoused. We're the cushion between hope and hopeless.
And also understand that it takes empathy and compassion for people to be able to go through this. And a lot of these people we deal with have a lot of mental health issues. You can tell by just the filth that a lot of people live in. And it's just an unfortunate situation we have going on. And I wish I knew the answer of what to do. But as Karyn said, the most important thing to do if you know anybody that's going through an eviction is always communicate with the property management, always let them know what's going on, try and work something out with them. The more you communicate with them, the more they're going to help you, or at least do their best, okay? Because there's fair housing laws. They can only do so much. If they do it for one, they have to do it for the other. So there's just a lot of things in the background going on. Unfortunately, if they don't have the money, there's nothing that's going to stop it. I mean, it doesn't matter if they have cancer. It doesn't matter if they're sick. Doesn't matter if they had a death in their family. It doesn't matter. You don't have the money, you're out. And they can get them out in less than 30 days in Arizona. So it's unfortunate. And Karyn and I are again on the ballot. And please vote for us in 26 because you know, one of the most important things I think is for people to have empathy when we go out there. There's a lot of people that go out and do this work and they just walk in, knock, 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 out. You got 5 minutes, out. Yes, ma'am. There's are Democrats. How many constables are Democrats was the question. There seems to be more Republican, unfortunately. Excuse me? Yeah, but you know what? A lot of constables are also prior law enforcement officers. Okay, and when they're done doing their 20, 30 years, they can run for office and then they can do this job, which some think was probably cushy compared to what they did. Because we're not arresting people and we're not doing that kind of stuff. The pension bump?
Not usually as a constable. But
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I am Judge Kissel, everyone. I work with Karyn. I work with Bridget Ansari. I just want to take a few moments because while up here they gave you a perfectly technical explanation of what they do, the heart and soul of what they do makes my work possible. When Karyn or Bridget goes out to a house, it's not the 5 minutes and you're out. They are trying to give everyone the soft landing they need to get back on their feet so that they can move on from the process with dignity and with hope. When there were resources, they did everything they can to pair the person with the right resource for them. If they're a veteran, Kyrene is on it with Care 7. If there are some resources through Ahwatukee, through housing, Bridget connected them as quickly as they could. I can sleep at night doing what I do, knowing that when I send someone out who's eventually going to meet either Karyn or Bridget, that they're going to have all the resources they need. What we do fundamentally isn't sexy. We don't get to vote on saving abortion rights. We don't get to vote on things that get big headlines. But what we do is good governance. And the quickest way to turn an independent into a Republican is to show them a government who does not care. We are the line that are people's first experience and last experience with government, and we are doing everything they can to make sure people are respected, they understand their rights, and they're able to move forward the law. So I am incredibly grateful to be able to work with these two every day. And while, again, if you see us on the news, something's gone horribly wrong, we will continue to do everything we can to make sure we're giving you all the resources and giving you all the faith that you've put in us that we're paying back tenfold. So I just want to thank them for the job they do, because I don't often get the chance to do so.
Thanks, Tyler. Does anybody have any other questions about?
That one's off. Okay. So sorry.
Our last new PC just walked in a few minutes ago, so I wanted to introduce him. He's back here by Nicole. That's Yazdin Tajvar, and he is new in Galveston. Welcome.
Okay, so we're going to talk about upcoming events. There are a lot of events that are coming up. These are LD12 events that we put on the calendar. We have them all on your little printout. They're on the back side. So again, another reason to take one home, hang it on your fridge. Our calendar gets updated as soon as we find out about events. So if you see something out there and it's not on our calendar, put it in Slack, let us know. So we have a lot of upcoming events that we're going to be talking about. We have our recurring monthly events. So we have Dems and Donuts that we have every single month. We have Watering Hole Wednesday, which is our happy hour. We also do a book club that is a virtual book club. And I'm forgetting one, game night. Thank you very much. You can just, yep. So I want a quick reminder, let you guys know that in the month of June and July, the facility here that we are sitting in is not available. So for the month of June, we will do our meeting on Zoom. And for the month of July, just like we did last year, we're going to do a fundraiser, possible bingo night again. And yes, I still have all of your requests for additional bingo cards and wine. Got it. We'll let you know. The next slide is about our monthly. Okay, let's skip to the Easter parade really quick and then we'll come back. Keep going. One more. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. This Saturday is the Ahwatukee Easter Parade and Spring Fling. The parade starts at 10 a.m. It starts at 48th Street between Warner and Elliott. So we start at Warner and we end a little bit before Elliott Road. Okay? We will be in line with our truck and trailer by 9 a.m. We have to be there at 9 a.m. with the truck and the trailer. and the donkey, which we're gonna get to, because we're gonna get ready, because we're gonna make you guys get up here in just a few seconds. So get prepared. That's why I put candy on your tables, keep you guys energized. We need help decorating the truck and the trailer, so we're asking you to come at 9 o'clock. We are gonna be in spot number 53. We're gonna send this out in an email, so as long as you signed up for our emails, you will get the email. So you don't have to sign up. We need everybody to walk. We do have some shifts that we still need to fill. I'm doing your part, Sherry, but that's okay. I'm just gonna keep going because you're gonna do the caucus part here in a second. So we do need somebody to help with the spring fling booth setup, which is from 8 to 10:30. This person will get to go and set up at the spring fling. You will set up the tent and then you just sit there while we're all at the parade. It's a really easy job. You get to read a book. You said there's people I said that will need help unloading your car and setting up the canopy. So this is a really easy job, but there will need to be 2 people and 1 person to stay with the booth until we're done at the spring, until we're done with the parade. We also make sure we need lots and lots of people to walk. We're gonna have umbrellas and water. Bring your water bottles. We should not be going anywhere in the state of Arizona without our own water bottles. The other thing is we will need drivers at 12 o'clock to meet us down at Elliott Road at the church where we all end up, because all of us walked after standing for 2 hours and then walking a mile. We need someone to take us back to our cars. So we do need people to meet us down there. And then, of course, we are looking for people to fill the booth for the second shift, which is 1:30 to 4, and they will be needing to take down the booth. Okay? So because we did this great thing and we bought this wonderful donkey, which will blow up one more time, Sherry's going to tell you that we are going to name the donkey tonight.
Okay. So thank you, everybody, for your hilarious submissions. Now it's time to mule over the finalists and name the LD12 donkey. All right, and we're gonna mix it up a little bit tonight. So we have 5 finalists. The board voted on the submissions, and we narrowed it down to 5 finalists: Demmy, Philly Buster, Hope, Libby or Libby D, and Ferris Mueller. And now I need everybody to stand up. And we're going to do a Donkey Caucus 2025. So we're going to be in 4 corners. You go to the donkey name that you want to vote for. They'll be in 4 corners. You go to the donkey name that you want to vote for. Demmy, Philly Buster, Hope, Libby, or Ferris Mueller. Make your way to the name of the donkey that you want to vote for. Again, we have Demmy, Philly Buster, Hope, Libby, or Ferris Mueller. Yes, okay, and we need Susie to tell us what the votes are on Zoom.
You'll have to give me a minute. I have to count back through the chat. So hold on a minute.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm trying to see what Zoom says. Demmy. 1, 2, 3, Demmy. Marion. Remember 3 for Zoom. Remember 3. One. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Remember 3. 3. And 1 for Libby. Okay. I need to count. How many do you have? How many do we have for filibuster? 30?
We have 4 on Zoom.
Two. Okay, Ferris Mueller is out. You guys have to go pick a new one. All right, pick a new one. All right, count your numbers again.
We've got 5 for filibuster on Zoom. If anybody can hear me.
All right, Hope is out. You're out. Hope has to redistribute. Everybody that's with Hope has to go either to filibuster or Demmy. Hope is dead.
Susie, I saw 5 Demmy.
Demmy or filibuster. You have to pick one. Demmy or yes. Make sure you count me. I'm here. 6. You guys got to count over here. Nicole, can you count? They have 56 over here. What do you guys have? 53, including me? 54. All right, the winner's Demmy. Thank you, everybody, for humoring me. This was AJ's idea. They get, oh. It was, yeah. And the person that suggested the name Demmy was Nancy Chapuzian. So we will give her 5 raffle ticket entries for her winning selection. Next up, we're going to talk about our Blue Business Spotlight.
Hello, everyone. Ajlan Kurdolu, you can call me AJ, your executive board member. All right. So this month, as an executive board, we decided to find the really hardcore Democratic business, the bluest, the darkest shade of the blue. So we heard about this gentleman who keeps going around and saying that he's been a Democrat since he's become a US citizen. So we needed to talk to him. And his business is Home Mart, and that's fine young gentleman. He's the owner of it. I mean, joking aside, thank you for allowing me to highlight my business. I've been doing this Home Mart Interiors, my shop, for more than 20 years now in East Valley. We are located right now in Chandler Mall. So if you are in the Chandler Mall, come say hello, see our selection. We are offering to our friends, clients, furniture, living room, dining rooms, home decor, accessories, stuff that you will turn your house into a home with your own touch. And come holidays, Easters, and Mother's Day, it's a gift shop for you. The one thing I want to mention, though, is the local small businesses. And two things was very important to me. I felt like it's a badge of honor. I survived 2008 financial crisis. I went through COVID. I mean, we got smaller. We're back to one-store business. And right now, we are on the edge of, I don't know how to put it, a man-made, unnecessary recession. Like, we are this close, and this thing stays the way it is. Many, many businesses will go under. There is no ifs, there is no buts, there is no, oh, somebody else will cover the costs. No, it will happen. So I ask you two things actually. Come to mall, say hello. And the second is, find your local businesses, find your small local businesses, and support them as much as you can so we can survive this nonsense, actually. So again, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here and talk about my business. Thank you. And now our speaker of the day, I want to introduce one of the nicest gentlemen that I know in the Democratic politics, someone I consider friend, former LD11 chair, current co-chair of Black Engagement Committee in Maricopa County, and he is a communication expert, how to talk to voters all around. Patrick Brown.
All right, thank you, AJ. I appreciate that. I want to shout out Melissa. We served, of course, as chairs. You know, I'm a former chair now, but you guys have got an amazing LD chair, amazing LD board. So definitely give them a shout out. Also, I got to admit, I can check this off my bucket list. I've now experienced a Donkey Caucus, so I really appreciate that. So tonight, what I want to share with you guys, like I said, I'm Patrick Brown. I'm the co-chair for the Black Engagement Committee. What we're doing with the Black Engagement Committee, because you know, if you guys have kind of been following politics, you know, you were kind of, you know, doing stuff in November, you might have heard that things didn't quite go as well as we would have hoped. And again, you know, when a party does not perform well electorally, you have to do the introspection. And I know just with the Black Engagement Committee, we discussed a lot of the communication, because for a lot of folks who, you know, are members of, say, the Black community, I'm just going to speak for myself here, you know, sometimes political communication doesn't quite hit. And so what we've decided to do as a committee is, you know, myself, my co-chair, Victoria Iyamba, we're going around to our LDs to kind of share, you know, just some insights on communication and really helping folks understand how to communicate sometimes outside of like your community or your bubble or your lived experiences, because the reality is that we don't win elections with just the people we agree with. We have to get folks who are either sometimes a little bit opposed to us or neutral to vote for us. So I'm going to go through some strategies to do that. So I think there's a PowerPoint here. Okay. Okay, there it is. And there's a warning light too. That's okay. So here's a big thing. The key to, and again, I always say communication is really simple, but the key to this is really just making sure that you're able to kind of connect a lot of your grassroots values, the things that you believe in, and really meet someone in the middle or bring them all the way over in order to get them to really want to ultimately vote for us. Because I'm going to speak from I'm going to talk about, from the Democratic point of view of winning elections. And another important aspect of that is having an understanding of just general civics and understanding of policy. Now, am I saying that you need to be a constitutional law expert? No, but it helps. Yeah, like I said, if you thought the donkey jokes were bad, wait till I get going with this thing here. But also it's just understanding, just the basics so you can communicate that, because that helps with credibility. So the big thing is we want to ground our communication. Now, something I think is honestly been fairly leveled at Democrats, although as an academic, as somebody who works in communication and things like that, I struggle with this. But the reality is that we have a tendency to talk up here. And the reality is that we're not teaching a college lecture. We're trying to get folks to vote. And so we have to be relatable. We have to be authentic. And we have to be grounded. And the thing is that that's going to be with the person that you're looking at the door. Now, again, like in a community like mine in LD11, we have a large cross section. We got folks who are middle class. We got a few upper middle class folks. But we got a lot of people who, politics is the last thing that they care about. And so we, at least in my district, we understand that, but I would argue that every district in Maricopa County, really in the state, has communities, has precincts where folks aren't quite engaged, or we gotta meet them where they are. And so with that, what we want to do is we got to start with what people are concerned about, and we have to look at what impacts them directly. And here's the big thing: we got to listen, and not just hear them. We have to listen to them. And we have to be able to relate what is important to them to our goals. And because, again, we want them to ultimately vote for us. So if you go to the slide here with the big triangle, it's like blink and you'll miss it. While that's coming back, I will talk about the triangle. So for those of you guys who are either teachers, educators, or in like psychology or sociology, having those folks here, you've probably heard of something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, coming from the education world, I've heard this my entire career, and I had kind of an aha moment that everything in life can be related to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, I know nobody can see this because I can't even see this. I'm standing up here. So I'm going to kind of interpret what you can't see. Now, the folks at home, you guys can see it, so thumbs up. But the thing is, at the bottom level here, think of your basic needs. So the thing is, like, that's the shelter, that's food, that's water, just the things that keep you breathing. You go up a level, now we're talking about safety. That means that if you lay your head down, nothing's going to eat you and drag your corpse away, anything like that. These are the safety things. Now, the thing is that before you can even start having any kind of higher order conversations or discussions, you have to take care of folks' basic needs. So think about this from a political standpoint. If I knock on your door and you've now realized I'm not the local constable coming to evict you, trust me, that happens a lot. Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, like, if I'm talking about, hey, let's talk about tariffs. Bro, I literally thought you were going to kick me out. Matter of fact, they said they were on their way. That conversation is going nowhere, and I have to be aware of that. And I got to meet that person where it is, because you know what they're concerned about? They're concerned about housing. Now, and I'm kind of using a really extreme example because, the reality is like, if I'm about to get evicted, I don't give a damn about who you're running for, what you're running about. I don't want to sign anything unless it's a check so I can pay my rent. And so sometimes it just comes down to, if you know the information, be the source. Real quick, I remember I did a canvas a few years ago, knocked on a lady's door, and basically, as luck would have it, she was having an issue paying her bills for her medical care. She didn't want to hear anything about President Biden. She didn't want to hear anything about, state legislators. The fact that she opened the door, she thought like I was like the delivery guy bringing a check or something like that. She was waiting on it. And through that conversation, I was able to connect her with some of the social services that I was aware of, and we, went on her phone and we kind of got her hooked up. And the thing is, we didn't talk about politics. We didn't talk about who's running for what. I helped her with her needs. And I just said, hey, here's my number. At the time, it was LD chair. I'm LD chair of like the local Democratic Party. I didn't even get into like the details. Look, if you have any other questions or you need something, just text me or call me. I live in your community. I'm here to help. When you know it, that once we really got going in the election cycle, that lady showed up to our campaign office and came to help because she remembered that the Democrats, when she needed some help, helped her, and she wanted to help us. Oh, no, go back. We're not doing, that's okay, that's okay. So, yeah, because still there are levels I left. So the thing is, obviously we talked about her basic needs. We then got into her psychological needs because then she felt like, okay, I know I'm getting some help. I'm getting my personal stuff taken care of because ultimately we want to be at the nicest self-actualization or self-fulfillment level. And really that's just, when we're ready to have those higher order thoughts. That's when you imagine the kind of the coffee shop and you're talking about, well, I really feel that this latest bill in the state legislature will only cover certain, that's when we're at that level. And so the thing is we have to understand that most of the people we're talking to are going to be, and especially the people who should be voting for us and should be supporting what we want, are probably trying to handle their basic needs. Okay, now you go to the next slide. And so this is the thing. Sometimes our conversations have to be grounded because we have to recognize a couple of important realities. That every one of us in this room have a certain level of privilege. The primary one is that we're able to take, what time is it, 6:49 on a Monday. We're able to take time to come to this meeting and you guys listen to my bad jokes. There's someone right now who is now starting a second shift. There's someone who has not seen their bed for double-digit hours. There's some people who, like, they have children, they're trying to, pay the bills and stuff like that, and they occasionally see their kids every once in a while. And so we have to recognize that sometimes what's important to us is not important to the people we're trying to help. And that goes into being authentic and communicating those needs. Let's go to the next one. Here's the thing. People want to hear solutions. Now, I'll be honest with you. Petty is sometimes my favorite color. AJ will tell you, because he's listened to me kind of go on rants, that I can, I can throw shade with the best of them, especially when it comes to the people on the other side. But the reality is this, and I'll kind of pose it kind of this way. Have you ever gone to a dinner, maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, and you got those two folks that absolutely loathe each other, and the entire dinner, all they do is bicker and argue and fight? And if you haven't had that, I hate to tell you, but the thing is, though, with this, that's often how a lot of people who are unaligned or even like Democrats feel about sometimes some of the things going on. And the unfortunate reality is Republicans, they're winning by keeping the electorate as small and as disengaged as possible. That's, a lot of their game plan when we get into voter suppression, when we get into, making it just difficult for people to cast a ballot, all that stuff, even just all the negativity, because a lot of people just switch off. Because, and I think anybody who's been doing this for a minute, you've probably had more than one person tell you, okay, cool, we get it. You guys hate Trump and you think Republicans are, horrible, whatnot, but what are you guys gonna do to fix anything? And a lot of people in this last election, they didn't care about any of that stuff because while the individuals in the White House were saying one thing and we all knew they were being dishonest, they were speaking folks' languages. And we'll explore that a little bit different. But here's I think the one thing to take away, and this is kind of like my hopeful moment of this slide here. They're using fear, they're using division. They're using all of the isms to divide people. But the thing is that has a very, very short shelf life, because you can only scapegoat people or groups until people realize, you know what, those eggs haven't gotten any cheaper. And I figured out that, you know, there aren't really that many trans kids trying to play sports. So you said you were going to raise you're going to lower the price of eggs, but now my 401k is done. So what's up with that? And that's where we have to have solutions. We have to have grounded solutions, because people want to get into the details. I was fortunate enough to go to Tucson, which that's why I'm probably a little tired looking here, because I had to drive there and drive back. And that was probably the biggest thing that, if you weren't able to catch it online or you didn't go there in person, the biggest thing they were asking, you know, Senator Kelly, Senator Booker, Congressman Stanton, all the folks up there, is they wanted to know, what's the solution? You know, they didn't want to hear jokes about, you know, the spray tans or any of that kind of stuff. They want solutions. And the majority of people out there, we've got to have solutions. So let's talk about the civics and policy thing. Now, whether you are a PC, and you should be a PC, and it's really simple to become an appointed PC, and you should, or you're a volunteer, you're a Democrat, you need to understand basic civics. And I'm gonna be preachy for a second. If you are doing this work and you cannot succinctly explain how a bill becomes a law, you need to be able to do that. Because if you can't do that, how are you going to explain why you should vote for a candidate? How are you going to have credibility with folks who don't have that experience, that understanding? You got to know this stuff. That also means you got to have the policy knowledge. Now, this is a mistake people think. You got to know everything. You don't, because it's just too much, or you're just that special kind of like person that knows all the stuff. Know if you're passionate about something, then learn about that. And a lot of people, when I train folks to go knock on doors and they ask me like, well, you know, what if they ask me a question I can't answer? Well, first of all, don't lie, because Google is free. And they're going to talk about you after you leave. So the thing is, if you don't, I mean, it's okay to say, you know, I'm not really familiar with Senator Epstein's, you know, stance on this, but, you know, I do know is she cares about kids and education, and she's going to do something about these out of control vouchers. Okay, redirection is your friend if you just don't know. You're not lying, you're not, you know, making stuff up, because again, Google is free. But what you're doing is you're pivoting to something that person's caring about. Or you could ask them like, what's something that's really important to you, as I try and think of something to answer that with, you know, buy yourself some time. The other thing is also, this is a great opportunity because again, if you're knowledgeable, you will be able to connect how government impacts our lives. Because I bet, raise your hand if you've had someone tell you, you know what, all this political government stuff doesn't change anything, it doesn't impact me. The thing is, like, at this point, you don't have to really try that hard to find something. Hey, you got your Social Security check yet? Haven't had an omelet in a while, have you? Hey, you know, maybe you should have got, you know, you shouldn't have gotten that Tesla. Ooh, that was a bad choice. I'm gonna go off script for just a second. This is just something I want to share. I was on the freeway probably like 2 weeks ago. I was driving to work, and I saw a Tesla Cybertruck go by. And I kind of give it another look because I realized there's something kind of odd about this Cybertruck beyond the fact that it's a Cybertruck. It looks like a Pontiac Aztec that's rendering. But the thing is that the owner had taken off all the decals and stuff that identified as a Cybertruck and put Rivian on the back. Yeah. So let's talk about, you know, government functions and elections. One of the greatest lies we're ever told was by a former actor who became president, that government is the problem. And wow, was he so full of crap. The fact of the matter is that a functional government goes unnoticed. Just like your Justice of the Peace just said, if they're not in the news and nobody's talking about them publicly, that means they're doing their job. And so going back to drawing the connections, government's not the problem. It's putting WWE like executives in charge of things like education. That's the problem. So that's why it's important to understand how things work, because the old saying that if you don't understand everything's like everything, you feel like you're being cheated if you don't know how anything works. And so the fact is that's one of our jobs to do that. So let's kind of bring this thing home to wrap up here. So in this business, we're in politics, okay? Our job is very zero sum. You either win, and if you win, that means you get to make policy. If you lose, you get to make PowerPoints like this to try and win next time. Now, we're all, I'm going to argue that we're all moral, upstanding human beings. If you're not, please don't self-identify. But with that being said, I know I'm idealistic. Despite a variety of reasons that I'm not going to get into here or list, I have every reason to have not a whole lot of faith in the United States, have a whole lot of faith with, my community, not have a whole lot of faith with, many of the systems and traditions of this country. But why I'm idealistic is because I still believe people can be better. Now, with that being said, one of the ways we can get better is winning these elections. And so winning is a non-negotiable thing, because being idealistic without any kind of result doesn't get us anywhere. And so some days it might be, we gotta win this race so that we can really make some changes, because again, you can't really do a whole lot from the outside. And so we have to understand that engaging our voters, getting people to turn out, that's a non-negotiable in this business. If you are not getting people registered to vote, if you are not, convincing folks to vote for our candidates, then this is not going to work. I think we got one more slide here. Now, this is another question that comes back about like leadership and fighting back, because right now, I mean, the numbers are not in our favor. Fortunately in Arizona, we have Governor Hobbs, who is, I'm sure she's got carpal tunnel to the max at this point. But the fact of the matter is, that's not a sustainable thing. We have to flip the state legislature. We got to make your senator's job way easier, because she has folks who want to get stuff done and not block things. In Congress, as Senator Booker last night said very succinctly, they don't need us to pass legislation. So what we do is, one, we talk to our neighbors. We push and we support our electeds. We don't, and it kind of was heartbreaking here about the people who changed their party affiliation because they're afraid, because I know there's a lot of people out there. I look at it as like, I got a whole laundry list of reasons why I might turn them missing. So, and half of them have nothing to do with politics, but like former ex-girlfriends and stuff like that. But the point being is that the reason that folks get attacked and the reason that people are bullied is because they're about something positive. They're about change. And history has always told us the people on the right side of history have haters. And so I argue, wear that with a badge of honor. Speak confidently. And I got to say this, I know this is probably going to get some groans here. I have this saying, game recognizes game. So if we look at something that the other side does, and they do it very well, is they stand on their principles as they appear confidently. So my thing, I'm gonna tell you right here, I'm woke. And I'm not ashamed to be woke. Because you know what? I believe that, diversity, equity, inclusion, that is how life's gonna work. And I'll go toe to toe on that. You can call me every name of the book, because I've probably heard them all, and I'll make up some new ones. But that's the type of confidence we have to have. Now, am I saying you got to get in front of a room of people and do that? Am I saying that you have to get on TV or the internet to do that? Hey, you do you. I think we could use more folks speaking confidently about the stuff on social media and whatnot. However, when you're at that door and you're looking at a potential voter, people respect confidence. They may not agree with you, but they will respect you when that conversation's over. Okay. So I've done a lot of talking, so I want to shout out a couple of things. So if you want to get better at, political communication, I want to recommend this book by George Lakoff. This guy is I would say he's the Obi-Wan Kenobi or I guess probably Yoda is probably more accurate, of political communication. It's called Don't Think of an Elephant. This is a very easy read. It's a very short read. It's the type of book that you carry around. You have it all dog-eared and you highlight stuff. And like, I thought I knew a lot about this topic, but this guy, he's got it figured out. And what I guarantee you, when you read this book, you're going to think of every phone call, every door knock, every political conversation. You go, damn it, why did I know that? And so anybody who is trying to get better at this, anyone who wants to be more effective at this, buy this book. And I don't get anything for it. This is a really good book. Next slide. So to wrap things up is, yeah, we're like 90 days, and we're barely 100 days into whatever you want to call this. But the thing is that just means we just have work to do, and we have people to convince. And here's the thing that I think is also important to know is we got a lot of folks who they made a very, very troubling and questionable decision because, you know, in some regards we have to own that we just didn't do our job effectively. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, the numbers are the numbers. As my coach said, is that, you know, y'all lost the game because you didn't play well. And the reason they have more points than we do is because they played better than us. So you know how you win games? It's not rocket science. You play better and you figure out what you did wrong and you fix it. And so that's what we should be doing during this time. And so when you go out and you're having these conversations either with voters or community members or stuff like that, keep some of this stuff in mind. You know, listen to understand, meet people where they are, because then once you've developed that type of relationship, then one day when you're, you know, packing lit or you're, you know, trying to, you know, make that next phone call, you might see somebody that you met one day who says, hey, you were really nice to me and I'm here to help. So I think that's the last slide. Yeah. Oh, I have to do my obligatory like shout outs here. So we'll come back to the question slide. So go back down one here. No, forward. Okay, so yes, again, I'm Patrick Brown. I'm the co-chair of the Black Engagement Committee. We meet the second Thursday of each month. So if we already met this month, so we'll be meeting again in May. We do meet typically through Zoom because we got a lot of folks from around the county, so we just makes it easier. However, we do actually do in-person events. So if you want to know more about us or follow us, these QR codes can help. You can follow us on social media. We're pretty active there. We are, of course, as any political organization, we'll be more than happy to relieve you of any dollars or become a recurring donor. And again, we're actually rebuilding our mailing list. So if you'd like to join our mailing list, you can do that. I know I'm being really quick because I can feel Melissa getting the hook. So I want to flip one more side, and I will be done here. And the last part here is, this is my own just, you know, taking advantage of the situation, is that I also do this stuff kind of regularly. This is my Substack. So if you like the jokes and they weren't too bad, then wait till you read more of the worst ones. So you can always follow me on Substack or just come and say hi. So thank you for your time, and thank you.
Okay. We're not going to be able to play the, well. Oh, it's playing. Wait, can you start it over? Wait, hold on. This is a video that I thought, can somebody help her? Okay, hold on. I just thought it was funny in what has been going on right now with tariffs. So enjoy.
Anyone? Great Depression passed anyone? Tariff bill, the Hawley Smooth tariff at which anyone raised or lowered, raised tariffs in an effort to collect more revenue from the federal government. Did it work? Anyone? Anyone know the economics? It did not work, as the United States sank deeper into the Great Depression.
So you have to close it before it starts to play the next video. But I just thought that the video from Ferris Bueller's one of my favorite movies when I was growing up. I watched it all the time. Just 1 second. So anyways, with all the recent tariffs, this is just another video playing. It's not part of tonight. So I thought when I kept seeing this about tariffs, because tariffs affect my day-to-day business, because I do work full-time. And so I just kept replaying over in my head. I'm just like, what's today? I don't know which tariff is going to go into place. So with that, I thought it was a cute little video. LD12 is fundraising. We are always fundraising every single month. It costs us money to have the equipment that we are using today to rent the facility. And we're currently saving up, and of course our lovely donkey that I'll blow up towards the end of the evening once we're done, so that you guys can see it. Well, on the slides that should be up is the raffle. Sherry, do you want to help? Is supposed to be the QR code for the raffle baskets. Okay, it's on the agenda. And those right over there. These raffle baskets are donated every single month. I should ask really quick, Gavin Lee, did you buy tickets tonight? Oh, Gavin Lee bought tickets. That means we need to outdo ourselves. Gavin Lee is the leading person in the LD who has won the most raffle baskets. So we are going to be doing this raffle before the end of the evening, but so make sure you get your raffle tickets. And then I would like to invite our legislators up to tell us what they're doing in the legislature. Gee, I wonder what they're doing. Trying to stay afloat. I appreciate them. Do you want to go first, Senator Epstein? And then Representative Contreras is over there. I didn't see Representative Travers yet. So I want to say thank you to our representatives. Give them a hand. They are amazing that they even go to work every day. I don't know how they do it. I am grateful that you guys do it. Really, really grateful.
Well, I am grateful for all of you. I think there's over 100 people here in the room, not to mention, hi, everybody at home. So yay, give yourselves a round of applause. This is how we make democracy work, by participating and recognizing our privilege. Thank you for pointing that out for us, Patrick. It's important to recognize that we have the time to be here and make the world a better place. So a few of you may have noticed or attended our little rally we had on Saturday. It was our very own LD12 Jewish Caucus had and members of it had a table, but there were many other tables, and our message was simple. You know, stop the bills for billionaires, invest in education, kids, safety, and health instead. And we hit a nerve with our Republican colleagues, because I don't know if you've seen on Twitter X, but they responded much like, you remember when Bernie came to town and they did the Stop Oligarchs, and the press recorded it as by saying, oligarchs is a difficult word. We don't know what it means because they're babies. You know, but I was really upset with them because that is the problem. But this is a really important message. It is the underlying, so it's budget time right now in the legislature, and the underlying problem is we keep draining revenue out. Draining, less and less revenue for all the good things that we want, the good solutions, the child care, the workforce training, the basic education, basic health that we should do as government. But it keeps draining away, and where's it draining? To the billionaires and zillionaires. They don't necessarily have to have $1 billion, but they've got, the wealthy don't need welfare is the point. And so our message, and I feel like I really need to sit down with the media, make sure they understand this. Our message is stop making these laws that only benefit the very most wealthy, the very few. Instead, invest in education and kids. And it's about stop making these laws, because my Republican colleagues keep countering, and I keep inviting them to these events. They were very much invited to join us and say, stop bills for billionaires. They chose not to come. Instead, their reply was, well, Democrats have rich donors too. And I was like, you didn't understand anything we said, did you? We were talking about stop bad laws, and you're saying Democrats have rich donors, which to me says we are hitting a nerve. We are hitting it, and they don't like the fact that we're reminding them that the Republican Party is, was, and forever shall be for the richest people, the richest few, and we have always been the party for working people, and we have to get out there and keep reminding everybody about it by listening and offering solutions. So I loved that you were here today, Patrick. It was the perfect foundation upon which all of this is built, is that we've got to listen, find solutions, and make sure, connect with people to make sure they know that we are the ones who want to help and are helping. And I also finally want to point out one more thing. You know how we heard as Democrats in the last election, well, the Democrats were saying things are good, you know, and people felt things are not good. So that was the problem. But the truth is, Medicare is a good thing. Medicaid is a good thing. Public education is a good thing. We have all these good things that have been brought to kindergarten is a good thing. All these things were pretty much brought to you by Democrats and the people who work, and these are good things, and that's what we wanted to say. These are good. We want to keep these things. But instead, America voted to destroy them all. And now they're finding out, as you said, have you seen your Social Security check? How's that Medicare working out? Do you still have a job if you worked in parks? And I don't even want to start with the many ways our system is being rigged for billionaires against the rest of us. But I want to always end on a little bit of a bright note, even if the bright note comes in a little sideways way. Your legislative team, Patty, Stacy, and I, are fighting oh so hard tomorrow because the supplemental bill to pay for DDD funding, this is the Division of Developmentally Disabled folks, caregivers who help people in need, who help our vulnerable populations. And I'm going to call Amanda over here to explain to you why it's important, and I can only tell you this. We're going into a PROPS meeting in the House and the Senate tomorrow to vote on a bill that is a stinker of a bill from the Republicans, because they're saying we'll kind of fund the what is needed, but we're going to take it away from the homeless. Yes, the homeless fund. And we're going to add lots of strings and pine cones and prickly pears and everything else that's bad to the bill while we're at it. So Democrats are going in opposed to this. We're going to ask Governor Hobbs to veto it and force the Republicans back to the table to do the right thing. And you all know Amanda Steele as your governing board member, and I'd like to just toss this to you.
Thank you. I'm here on a different lens today. So you guys, when my son was born in the year 2000, I was told by a doctor that children like him don't amount to anything. But with the DDD services that are currently under attack, he actually shattered every expectation, becoming a world traveler, an Olympic medalist, and a proud member of our community. The truth is, thank you. But the truth is if he had been born even a decade earlier, he might have been hidden away in an institution, denied the dignity and opportunity that every person deserves. Today, Arizona legislatures is threatening to drag us backwards, holding my son's future and the future of nearly 60,000 others hostage. The disability community needs you to stand with us. We cannot do this alone. We need to fight for dignity, inclusion, and the right for every person to thrive tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you guys are available, this is a call to action. We need to fill the House and the Senate. They have a mirror bill, meaning if both of those rooms are not filled, as of right now, they're not listening to us. They haven't been listening to the disability advocates that have been there day in and day out for the last 12 weeks. We need the broader community to step up. The disability community is under attack, and we could possibly be putting people back in institutions if we go forward, putting legislative control over and oversight that is not needed. So if you are not able to come, please go on to request to speak and oppose HB. I'm going to just make sure I'm giving you the right numbers because there's two of them. HB 2945 as introduced. There is an amendment, strike everything, but the introduced bill is dangerous. It cuts services. And then oppose SB 1734. Do you have those? Yes, SB 1734 and HB 2945. Please go on and oppose those. We need more than the disability community at this point. Tomorrow, there's going to be appropriation committees in both the Senate and the House. It is a mirror bill. They're doing them simultaneously, which means we really, really need the community to fill both of those rooms. And if you attend, please wear blue so that we are all in the same colors, matching. Time 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, House and Senate. Go to either of them, just make sure the rooms are filled. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My one last point is if you would like to have a postcard party to write to state, well, basically to Governor Hobbs, because in this district, we know. But it wouldn't hurt to write a lot of postcard to Governor Hobbs, or if you know somebody outside the district who wants to write to their lawmakers, let me know. We're going to print up more of these postcards and keep it going. This is the poster of the about 20 bills that benefit billionaires and make the middle class pay. So if you want to do a postcard party, let me know. This is going to be an ongoing campaign. And Molly, you're raising your hand at me. All righty, great. We have one. Take it away. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Epstein. At the House, we've been introducing some of our DD parents that have been coming, and they've been sitting up in the gallery. And we have a minute to introduce people that come and sit in the gallery, but we've been making our speaker a little kind of not quite happy with us because we'll go on and we'll start talking about we need to vote for the supplemental bill and all. And he's like, okay, he's like, you're done, Representative. You're done, Representative. Thank you, Representative. You know, so we've been touching a nerve over there. So yes, please come by tomorrow and speak up for some of our most needy groups out there and all. So yes, I missed coming. I got here late, so I didn't get to welcome new attendees. So who's new out there? I see some new faces. All right, look at that. Well, if I haven't met you, I'm Patty Contreras, your state representative here in LD12, and I would like to meet with you. And I saw today is also, or this month is also Volunteer Appreciation Month, and so I think that's great. I appreciate all of you who have come out over the years to help us out. Again, it's something that, you know, we couldn't do all of the work that we do here in LD12 without you, and appreciate everything you do. I have notes, sorry, so I have to take my notes here. So I was late because I went to just kind of a opening of the Arizona Water Conference, and they're meeting in Phoenix today. And this week, it's Arizona Water Week this week that they're celebrating. And their conference has 3,000 people come just from around the state. So that's really amazing. But I wanted to go and visit over there with them before I came here. Let's see, on my notes here. So last week, Judge Sauls came by. It was Judge's Day at the Capitol, and Judge Sauls came by and shadowed me. And our schedule has just been so crazy down there. Some days we're starting at 10, some days we're starting at 11, at 1. Some days they don't know what time we're starting, it feels like anyway. So it's like today we got notice that instead of 10 o'clock on Wednesday, we're 1 o'clock on Wednesday. I'm like, okay, so if you had any meetings scheduled with me, sorry, they're just all over the place right now. I don't know why they're doing that. It's been kind of crazy. But you know, we the Democrats are really trying to support you know, affordable public education, affordable housing, get some programs like that, child care and health care, affordability, a lot of things that Senator Epstein was talking about that we're not getting funded because we're trying to fund billionaires and all. But you know, we have so many bad bills. Let me just and this is just a small list, okay, a small list of bad bills that we're working on right now. Gender transition procedure provider liability. So this is if someone who was young had a gender transition procedure, and later on in life they decide they want to change their mind, they can sue the doctor, and personal suit too. It's not just malpractice. They can sue you personally and all. You know, it's a terrible bill. I've been fighting with Senator Rogers on this photo enforcement system. I know none of us like photo enforcement. You know, I'm as fast a driver as anybody out there, and I didn't really say that. I'm a good driver. You know, but we see the signs. We know where to slow down, and Tempe's going to be instituting this coming up here real soon and all on a few important intersections and all. But it saves lives, and they don't have the police don't have the manpower to be out there and stopping folks. They say, "Oh, we just let the police do it." It's like, yeah, but now we're cruising through too fast on the roads and running red lights and all. So I've been, you know, against that bill, and it in 2021, I believe it was, Paradise Valley, who's had that system since 1987, in 2021, which I think is the last time they had statistics, did not have anybody die on their roads, which is pretty amazing since 3 people die just about every day on our roads. Senator Rogers also wants to get rid of concealed weapons permit fees. Yeah, well, let's just have concealed weapons and not have any fees. Already we don't have to do testing. I don't think somebody out here was talking to me about that, and it was a bill that I co-sponsored with Representative Marquez. But to go back to our old system where you at least have to show that you know what a gun is, right? So, and how to shoot it. So, but now she wants, not only no testing, no money, just go guns. School districts, partisan elections, you know, so wants to make our school board members, governing board members have partisan elections, which, you know, is always a bad idea. You know, this one, I'm on transportation committee, so vehicle mileage tracking tax prohibitions. So there's this theory out there that if you have an electric car, that they're going to track you, and they're going to know where you're going, and they're going to be, you know, big brother on you, and we're going to charge you for all those miles that you drove. You know, it's true that electric vehicles don't pay as much in taxes as gas vehicles, because when you fill your gas tank, you are paying a tax for the roads and all. And so in order to not ever collect any money for electric vehicles, they want to put this tax prohibition on there. So it's just silliness. You know, I get frustrated. Can you tell? I get frustrated. But it's, you know, we really want to do what's right for our communities. We want to, you know, help with the affordable childcare, with affordable health care, with affordable homes, all those types of things. But we just get our hands tied over there. So what Patrick was saying is so true. We need to, you know, get more help in both the House and in the Senate, you know, so we can make the laws, and we can tell them what to do with their money. So, thank you. I got one chuckle out of that. So, and I did want to also congratulate Kevin and the Kyrene School District. I don't know if they said anything about this earlier, but I just think, you know, standing up for the kids and our district, thank you so much, all the school board members, you know, just keep it up. You know, our kids deserve the best. Yes, thank you, Amy. That's there too. So, one more thing, let's see. Conversations with Contreras is this Friday at Brick Road. We've had a lot of folks coming by and chatting with me it's every third Friday at Brick Road Coffee. I see our Brick Road people are here today. 4 o'clock. Just drop on in, you know, grab a coffee or a tea, and we'll just chat. We like to commiserate, so it's kind of fun. And I just also want to say one more thing. It's my anniversary, 1 year on my knee. Yay, anniversary. So anyway, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna hand it over to Mark. Yes, we did. It was in your contract.
What contract? These are our financials, everyone. That, for the beginning of the month. The beginning of the month, we started out with $23,176. And then we had contributions of almost $3,000. And then we spent $2,400. Some of that was towards the spring fling, and we're ending at $23,000. And we are really, of a lot of the committees, when I was filing the Q1 2025, we are doing very well. But we are also going to be doing a fight next year. We are gonna be going, and not just to keep our people in, but we need an arsenal of money to take and flip all these red seats. And the people in this room work their asses off, but we just need enough money to keep that work going next year, because I am not going to live through another 4 years or 2 more years of this bullshit. So this is why we're raising the money, is to build an arsenal. Last cycle, we had 65,000 contacts with, 30,000 letters that went with candidate slates. We had 30,000 postcards also that were distributed. And the people in this group also helped LD13. We helped the Navajo Nation, the Native American voters, and we are going to expand that. That's what our plans are, because the people in this room are worker bees, and you are the envy of all the districts. Like, people are like, how do you find all these motivated people? And these are districts that have very few Dems. And guess what? 15 years ago, this was a red district. But leadership like this is what made 100 people. And this leadership is now on the state party. No, because Melissa is going to bring this statewide.
Yeah, I know.
No pressure. But as a state committee member, we now elected Robert Bransom, who was on the stage last night with Cory Booker, Mark Kelly, Gabby Giffords, and R. Stanton. This is what the state party lead is supposed to do. So many people stayed here, got rid of an inefficient person, and now we have an effective person. And we have now a co-chair of the state party that is not going to stop and take no, she's going to, take names. You know how tough she is. This is why it's so important we raise the money.
Okay, before we do, we're gonna be getting ready to do our raffle at the end of the evening. We do open up the floor, so if you have a 1-minute announcement, is there something coming up? You want to talk about anything, come on over here. After everybody's done talking, I will go ahead and blow up the donkey one more time. So if anybody wants to take some additional pictures with it, and there were some people that weren't here at the beginning when I had it blown up. One of the other things that we do to help raise money in LD12 is we have a whole list of merchandise that you can get. You can get LD12 t-shirts. We have vote shirts. I saw somebody in here with a vote shirt. I see LD shirts. We have bumper stickers. We have magnets. You can get these little beautiful name tags. And so if there was something that you did purchase, if you purchased a name tag, a t-shirt or something like that, we haven't gotten it to you, we are very sorry. Please let me know. We'll get it to you. So make sure you go and see our new volunteer, Kay. She is helping us with our merchandise. So she is over here with Mark. So we're going to open up the floor for 1-minute announcements. And then we're closing the Bada Bing raffle so he can get all the names onto the spreadsheet. We'll put it up there and we will do the raffle drawing. So 1 minute. Oh, Sherry, do you want the timer? It's in my bag over there by my water. I trust you, Karen.
Trust a politician. Okay. All right. Before I was the constable, now I'm a candidate. I just want to let you know we put something on all of your tables. You can donate. You can go to my website. I'm going to do a special twist for a donation. Yesterday was my birthday, and I'm still making it out here today. So if I could get a donation, I'd greatly appreciate it. I know Bridget would like it. All of our candidates can use help, but me first.
I'm Janie Heydrich. I had children and now I have grandkids in the Kyrene School District. And the Kyrene District School Board told Tom Horn to stuff it. In case some of you were under a rock, the school board said, we don't need the federal funding if that means we get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So more fundraisers will come back to bake sales, whatever. In case you're not sure about DEI versus merit, I'm going to give you a quote from Dr. Glasgow, who's the executive director of the Meltzer Center at New York University School of Law. We know from decades of extensive research that in the absence of DEI efforts, humans do not make perfectly merit-based decisions. Far from being opposed to merit, DEI supports merit-based decision-making. Thank you, Kyrene.
Hi, Janet Hamlin. Arlene Chin sends her apologies. She's in another meeting that I can guarantee you is not as fun or interesting as ours. She is going to be doing a trivia night evening at Drink Me Tea Room. Melissa, wave. One of our blue businesses in our district on May 4th. Doors open at 4:30. Event starts at 5, ends at 6. Come join the fun, learn about Arlene, learn about her campaign for re-election to Tempe City Council. Shifting gears, I'm now Nancy Puzzi, Indivisible in Tempe. Everyone wants to know when we're doing another hands-off event. Do you still have your signs? Keep your signs. Saturday, hang on, got to change. There I am. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Cole, C-O-L-E Park in Tempe has a bridge that goes over the US 60. We know how much weight it can hold, a lot. We fit a lot of people on that bridge. Come protest with us, hands off. Bring your signs. Saturday, the 19th. I know I'm 2 people. I went slightly over. Saturday, the 19th. That's this Saturday. I know it's the Saturday. The weather will be great. Bring your signs. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can park at the elementary school and you can park in the neighborhood. Is that a question? Are you just waving? We're good.
Hi, my name's Rob. I'm a PC for Magic Stone. I want to ask you, how many of you canvassed neighborhoods during the election? Raise your hands. Okay, put your hands down. How many have canvassed our neighborhoods the last 2 weeks? Exactly. I canvassed our neighborhood, just a very small section, and I can't tell you the difference between canvassing now when the Democrats that we're trying to keep together, they were so happy to see me. They agreed that some of them were going to help volunteer and help go to the rally we had recently. We also got a rally coming up on May 1st down at the Capitol. I think it's May Day. It's not been advertised. I'm asking a lot of you to please see if you can start a canvass again of your neighborhood. Let them know what's going on. so we can continue to show support at these rallies. Thank you.
Joanne Marcus. I saw her earlier. Oh, there she is. Stand up for us. Joanne Marcus is the lead for all your turf cutting. If you need a neighborhood turf, she is the person to contact. Her information's on your agenda. How convenient, huh?
Hi, I'm Leslie. I'm from Organized Solidarity Collective. I wanted to let you know about a meeting we're sponsoring on April 27th. It's at 6:00 p.m. Beth Strano from Borderlands Resource Initiative will be speaking. She'll be talking about creating safe spaces in schools, faith spaces, and businesses. I'm sorry, I'm nervous when I speak in public, so sorry about that. If you're interested, if you work for a school, a faith space, or you have a business and you want to know how to protect your business when ICE might knock on your door, please see me after the meeting. Thank you.
So I'm Lisbeth, I'm with Organized Solidarity Collective. And in the state of Arizona, we are now at 1,900 people have been detained. Anybody who is not a US citizen is a threat. Remember, this is the knock and grab operation. ICE Director Todd Lyons said last week, he wants to run deportations like Amazon Prime for human beings. And our senators, you guys kicked ass last week. So as a daughter of immigrant, as a Mexican American, it was the first time I saw Democrats stand up for us. So it was huge for my community to see all the Democrats stood up to the ICE director and held a name of a person who has been kidnapped. Remember, we are the number 83 days. Today's 83 days under 47. So we are at 50,000 people have been kidnapped. Anybody who's not a US citizen, las senadoras, they all stood up in the state of Arizona and they walked out on the ICE director. Huge, huge. A little bit, so two things. Arizona is the third state that has the most detained people versus California. No, I'm sorry, Texas, California, and Arizona. So I'm doing an ask because remember, anybody who is not a US citizen is getting picked up. I can give you the laws and the memos and everything. But here's my ask. I need you all to take one of these red cards. And there's two options that you have. The first option is, you might tell me, I don't feel comfortable giving it to a person who's an immigrant. But the second option is, you'll save a person's life. So it's your choice. So I want you all to get one, and I want you all to give it to somebody who looks like my father, who does not speak English, who just looks immigrant, because they are getting detained, and many of them are legally here, okay? That's my 1.5, okay?
Hi, folks. I don't have much to say. I'm Judge Sauls, Sharon Sauls at the Kyrene Justice Court. You may not see me out there in the community, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm out there, whether it's at an alternative school, a domestic violence resource center, or if it's Black History Month, I'm out there making sure that the community is aware of their rights. Everywhere I go, I'm handing out legal information. So if you guys need a judge, whether it's Judge Kiss, so myself, Jermaine, to speak to your school, to speak to your community group about their rights under the law, we're here and available. And I've always had an open invitation for you guys to come down to the courts. Find out why we evict folks, find out why or how lawsuits affect your lives. Come down to the Kyrene Justice Court anytime you want. I will be available. And then once you see what I do, you understand why Bridget's tired and then run it around all the time. Again, I'm Judge Sauls. I have my signature pages over here. I appreciate it. I'm honored to serve you guys. Thank you.
I'm back for one more quick minute. With all the crazy things going on and all the bad in the world, one of the attacks that definitely is something that is a big deal to me are national museums. If you haven't been following, the Trump administration is cutting funding from our national museums, especially, ironically enough, the African American Museum. I wonder why I picked that one. And so the thing is, without getting into a big explanation, a lot of our national museums, actually, it's a partnership with the federal government. So they get a lot of their monies from donors, but still, the feds are trying to do something symbolic. So I want to challenge you, if you want to do like one thing to help become a reoccurring member for either the National African American Museum, or you can keep your money local, because in Phoenix, we have the George Washington Carver Museum in downtown Phoenix. And guess what? They were getting a lot of federal funds. They can't, react as well as like a national museum. So just like $25 a year, and you can help keep history alive. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We're going to do our raffle basket drawing right now. Mark's going to bring that up on the screen. I will answer a couple questions really quick before anybody leaves. Well, I just ask that we're always doing the right thing. So please make sure you push your chairs in, pick up any trash, leave the place better than we found it. And then I will come and ask your questions. Yes.
American Way Pasta Restaurant, a blue business or a red business? Does anyone know?
No, I don't know. What's the name of it? New American Way Pasta. Do we know if it's red? She already, we've already looked into that one. So, all right. We are working to put together a directory. We're working with the Arizona Democratic Party Small Business Council to put together a directory to give to you of local small blue businesses. All right, Mark is up. And our raffle drawing numbers are.
Someone has to stop sharing.
No, you have to stop share screen. Give me some hope. I am gonna blow up, but it's kind of loud inside, so I was trying to wait till he does the numbers.
I don't know. Can you
Okay.
see that?
Okay, how many did we sell?
We sold 604. Right? Okay. We sold 604. Thinks I can read this. Can you read it? Can anybody read this? I just want to know.
Read it.
Okay. $223 for Cinco de Mayo.
Did random.org? It's all this shit. It was how many? 223? 223. So the winner is number 136. And that is Erica Schultz. And of the other ticket is 381. The winner of the second basket is 328. And Cicely Miller.
Hello? Oh, it's working. Wow. Hello? Oh. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Well, I'll blow up the donkey for you. 7:45. I'm calling this meeting, closing it, whatever.